You're watching Taste of Victory. Hey everyone, we're here joined by Declan, who got second at the OCE Evo Cup Bandai event. This was with the red-blue Gabumon Spice. Really interesting deck that a lot of people, now that we have starter decks here in North America, are interested to hear more about. So Declan, you want to go ahead and introduce us to this list you got?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me first of all. Very keen to be here. Yeah, very cool list. Bit of spice, bit of extra flavor to add. This deck came sort of into the circulation about a week before this tournament, and I had to put a little bit of Declan spice on the matter, just to see if it did any well. And yeah, we came away with second place. Came away with the Otamamon, which I think probably might be the only person to actually have two of those. So nice. Yeah, pretty happy with that.
Oh, you should
be. Yeah. This deck, while it is very good, it's also very predictable. So I'd be careful about running it, and it takes a certain amount of I don't want to say skill, but just a certain amount of brain power just to be able to think on the correct play at the correct times. Because while I was testing in the beforehand, it became a bit obvious when I would try and be too aggressive in certain situations or be bit too passive in others, and trying to find that balance was pretty difficult. But luckily enough, we came out and found that balance. To go through the deck, the Upamons, draw power, love it. Probably didn't have to run the Demi V. I'm not adverse to running 4 eggs. I think it's fine. But that's just personal preference. Onto the rookies, we've got the sort of a classic Gabumon package. Got the draw one. You need a draw. Got the bond one to give the extra attack. The searcher one I found was quite important with running the ties as well. You just need to see pretty much everything. And if you can't get that red source, then all those red cards in your hand are just a brick, and you can't have that. So really important. But the fourth one I was a bit iffy on. And then the starter deck one from the newest what do you call it? Structure deck. Yeah. Just nice little DP boost, which can sometimes matter. And then a one-off Strabimon. This was in place of the 4th searching Gabumon, just to get an extra sort of search for Lobomons, because Lobomons just win games. I think I won maybe a quarter to a third of the games just through a Lobomon swing. So really important to be able to have that final swing for game potential, and drawing into it is really important, I reckon. Now, the Otamamon, which a lot of people will be a bit confused about. In my testing, I came across a lot of decks where they would run like a Zwart defeat or something or other and get rid of my tie. And without that tie, I wouldn't have a game press for the next turn. So it started off as a bit of a joke, like, oh, we'll just run a little 2-cost rookie. But it turned out really strong. Like in the meta at that time, there was a lot of bonds and just stuff with really low DP, and so security was quite safe to run into. Sorry. So the Otamamon being 5k was pretty nice. Just swinging is probably going to survive. So happy days. Really impactful. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That was really good in my experience. Other people, might disagree. Fair enough. It's up to them. We got onto the the level 4s. Gorillamon, just nice cheap Evo, just to get a bit more draw power. I didn't bother running any rookies for the blockers for the level 4s. Yeah, just not that. Just didn't really want to.
Yeah.
Personally, just thought it was a bit of a waste, and against the sort of core idea of the deck, which is to just go, you know, get your machine gun out and go, you know,
Yeah.
which is fine. Lobomon. Talked about it just before.
Yeah, wins games.
Busted. Yeah. Bond is nuts. It's crazy. Just gets rid of boards and can attack the game with the Joust, with the plan. Yeah. Finding a good setup into those cards was really important. That's why there is so much draw power and the cheap Gorillamon, just to try and get into it all so that you can make a really solid game-winning push. Yeah, really important. Any questions about the Digimon themselves?
No, yeah, definitely. A lot of them make sense. I really like the Strabimon choice, because so many of the times, like, you win like Hammer Spark into a Lobomon. I think that's definitely an underrated card. Would you ever think like swapping ratios, like maybe go down on the Tamer Searcher Gabu and up Strabi for that Gabu search, for that Lobo search?
I did think about it. My only issue was the Strabi, I think, only adds a blue Tamer. And you got to see the ties. Because to get to a 15k breakpoint, so you're swinging over other bonds in security, and purely preference based idea.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. So something I'm actually curious about, now that you bring it up, is your champion lineup. Did you ever test around with Otamamon if in place of Gorillamon? Because I know some people are pretty excited about it, because it's like 7k, trades over a lot of stuff, lives security. And I don't know how popular Atomic Blaster was in your meta, but that, like, you do have that with the starter deck, and that like eats up your Atomic Blaster.
Yeah, it was. Atomic Blaster was definitely a big card, and I do see the point. I do see the point in running the Octo. I just yeah, like I was saying before, I just wanted to stick with the main idea of the deck, which was, let's try and get into these combo pieces as soon as possible. Let's just build it up.
Yeah, don't get fancy with it.
And then
consistent.
Yeah, like while yes, you are playing around the Atomic Blaster. Atomic Blaster doesn't matter if you're swinging with Gabumon with +2 security and a delicate plan, right?
Sure.
So like I do see the point. It's just it wasn't for me. Onto the options. The Absolute Blast was just for Sukuimon for that security control matchup, because I found that it was really tough to just get through that get through the Sukuimon. I found that without it I was really struggling. Like I had a few there was a DC1 tournament the day before, and that was the addition to the deck that I made, because I came up against the security control and just wouldn't do anything. They just cleared my board whenever like I pushed something out, and it was just terrible, frankly. But yeah, that's how it goes. So that was the addition. Very strong. Just get rid of that Sakuya. And I'm not sure, I haven't checked out the sort of American scene for the last little bit, and I'm not sure how many security control decks there are, / how many of those decks are playing the Sukuyamon. So maybe depending on your read of the meta, you might cut that, might add in other things that are a bit more relevant to your meta. But this was a meta call, so those are two spaces for people to mix and match. And Howling, very good, stops decks sometimes. And you just, when you need that extra turn, can happen.
Yeah.
Blue memory boost, consistency, we love it. You need it. I didn't want to run more just because I was running the red stuff, and I just didn't want to have that just drop to the bottom.
Yeah.
So, pardon me. Hammer Spark, amazing. Sometimes it can just, you know, if you get set to 1 and you bring out something with Matt, you're on 2, having that spark to go to 3 and then go into your bond. Awesome. As well as if you're on 3 and you want to play a Joust or a plan, being able to do that, very important. The God cards, Delicate Plan and Lightning Joust, nuts, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like just being able to swing 3 times with, you know, a bond and just really go ham. It's, you know, it's awesome. So a lot of my tactics would be swing with something early to put them on 4 security, have a bond, sort of a Gabumon set up in raising, and then have something else on the board, bring out the bond, and Joust, swing twice or 3 times. If it's 3 times, that's game in and of itself. If it's 2, I've still got the other thing to swing with. So, sorry, pardon me, I got something in my throat. Yeah, crazy. Davis, Searcher, love it, set to 3. Matt, no need to talk about it. Tai, awesome. Do you remember which decks you were up against in the tournament, how those matchups went? I do. I remember vaguely some of them. It was probably a month and a half ago now, but I do remember a few of them pretty clearly. So my first round, I versed actually one of my mates who was playing Raw Knight Black, and I'd argue that he's probably top 2 in the world at this deck.
Nice.
And I fortunately I beat him, and he just bricked. Like you know, we were just chatting pretty casually during the match, and he was like, "Yeah, nah, this just bricked, man." I'm like, yeah, fair enough. That sucks. Round 2 was against D Brigade, and that was actually quite a scary matchup. I think in that matchup I saw 2 absolute blasts in security over the 3 matches, so I won that one 2-1. And yeah, I think without them I was dead. So yeah, D Brigade is a problem, so you got to be a little bit careful of that one. Round 3 and 4 were Jesmons. Yeah, Jesmon's a bit of a coin flip, I find. Like it can go well, it can go poorly. You just gotta have a bit of luck on your side with that one. I think one of these guys actually just bricked a shit, and he didn't draw Jesmon for both 2 games. I'm like,
damn.
Oh, sorry, man, that's just rough.
Yeah.
Which I think Jesmon, I think it's probably the best deck of the format, and I actually played it at the online event a week after this Evo Cup, and I won that event. But I think, you know, you got to just try and find a consistent version of the build and pray. Like that's how the deck goes. But yeah, Jesmon's scary. It's just flat out scary.
Oh yeah.
Good old round 5 was against Gabumon, and I don't remember that one at all. I just have it down here that I won 2-0. But happy days. Yeah. Round 6 was my only loss of the day. I versed the eventual winner, Nathan, who was playing Jesmon. And a big shout out to Nathan. He's bloody good at this game. We've been having a good little tussle for the last sort of few months on like top placements, so it's really fun to have that competition with him. Yeah, he cleaned me up 2-0 in this one. This was the match where I just bricked it, and like that is a real possibility in this deck, just because you're running some awkward cards that sometimes you just can't play. it happens. You know, no point crying over spilled milk. Get on with it, right?
Yeah.
Round 7 was against Gabumon, and I don't remember it at all, but I've got Hero 1-2-1, so happy days.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it was a great time. That's really cool. Very interesting deck and all that. Cool to hear like how interconnected the Oceania community sounds. Like everyone sounds like friendly.
It's
there.
awesome, man. I'm sure you've been chatting with Rusty a lot in Fong's server. Yeah, he's my good mate. We've been testing a few hours a day for the last month. But yeah, it's good. Shout out to Fong. He's what a G. What a nice guy.
Oh yeah, dude. Fong's really cool.
Yeah. Shout out to you, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks, man. Yeah. No, thank you to you for
I feel
coming
big
on
time
here.
now.
Yeah, 1,000 views. Yeah.
I love it.
You know, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and taking time out of your day. You know, like I really appreciate that.
That's all good. It's all good. Oh, we might as well give a little, have a happy holidays.
For sure.
Know?
Everyone
Hope
enjoyed it.
Everyone had a great Christmas, New Year's. Love it.
Yeah, all this stuff. Awesome. Cool. You got any closing thoughts you want to give on the deck, or any further shoutouts?
Yeah, closing thoughts on the deck. Look, it's a good deck while people don't know it, and people know it now. So I feel like the whole surprise factor is absolutely gone. But with that being said, it's sort of disappeared completely. I haven't seen any Pepsi, or I like to call it Red Bull, but
I like that.
Whatever. I think it's at a point now where it might have dipped far enough to be able to make a comeback if you'd want to play it. So, it's up there, and I think there is some room for whatever spice that you'd like to play. So give it a test, have some fun. It's definitely not a bad deck, and you can get some really fun wins. But big shout out to Oceania Group. I love the community that we're building up here. I don't know if we've got any cheaters at the moment, or no one's been found out for cheating, so that's nice. It feels like quite a peaceful place.
Yeah, hoping it stays that way.
yeah, please. So don't cheat, don't be an asshole. But yes. I think that's about it for me. Thanks though.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man, and thanks everyone for watching this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.